I want to hear something my way. And if I have to twist in my mind words, phrases up that's coming out of someone else's mouth into something that's not even actually being said, so be it. Without copying to it, without going, yeah, I just did that. I just twisted someone's words up. No, I lie to myself and say, yeah, that's what they said when they didn't. It would be funny if it wasn't destructive.
From the Big Island of Hawaii, welcome to Aloha Speaks, home of Malama Aloha Pono by Alexander Noman, offering relief for all relationships with a focus on anger assessment and resolve.
Aloha, Alex here with Aloha Speaks, and this video is part 1 of listening, and it's because there are basically 5 kinds of listening, if they could be called that. The first 3 are questionable. It's the last 2 kinds that make a real difference. They're called listening to learn and learning to listen. That's part 2, the next video. It's important for me to keep things simple, and I'm having difficulty with that because in these first 3 kinds of listening, or not listening, which one of them is called, it's applying Malama Aloha Pono to it, and it is for the purpose of keeping it simple. I mean, 6 segments. Are separated for the purpose of, for me, to focus my attention in those areas of resistance that I have, because I have been made aware through my desperation, through my willingness, of the degree of my sickness in the area of addictions. It's the ego. And it gets expressed in all of these symptoms. It affects relationships. Okay, so even though I separate them, they're all happening at the same time. I think I've even talked about this before. Specifically in talking about listening, for me, this is a really, and I talk about slippery and tricky, really slippery for me, because it happens even when I'm reading something. I'm reading a book, especially say I access as a reference manual the Alcoholics Anonymous book. They call it the big book. I use it as a reference because it addresses my issues. So I look at it, and I see something that, oh, what? I didn't notice it said that before. It's a form, this reading is to me a form of listening. I'm watching, say, something informative on YouTube, or I'm watching something informative on even Netflix, wherever it is. And I'm accessing it a second time, or maybe I'm watching a third time. I'm going, well, I didn't notice that before, because I'm not, there's something askew, awry with my listening. Of course it's occurring in my relationships when I'm listening to someone speaking. So reading, watching, all of these things are the same difference as listening in a discussion. The admitting and my honesty is required for me to even look into these first three kinds of listening that I'm going to talk about today. Listening is the second segment. I wouldn't even be aware of it without the third segment, the assessment. Behind it all is this. The subconscious plays such a part because there's habit patterns, and it's about habit patterns. It goes deeper than that. I have not yet done even one video. I will on that segment. Righting the wrongs. Of course, once I do learn to listen, and I'm listening to learn, there can be appropriate measures taking place, and then the sixth segment. It's all comes together. It can't happen without that. So now I'm in a position to maybe, and I have no clue, other people, I wouldn't wish it on anyone to have the degree of this, what people call disease. I don't want to put definitions are dangerous for me because it makes things conceptualized. I want to drop in, I drop my energy and deal with what is going on here. So before I get to this video that is next on the listening to learn and learning to listen, which I heard those terms throughout my life. I never looked at what do they mean. So before that can happen, what are the three kinds of listening that are I'm unaware of in my, say, that subconscious realm, the habits that I have that would just go right over my head. These are the unproductive things that I need to be aware of. And they go on to and through today. And the first one is called unlistening. It's even more destructive than the second one that's called not listening, because there's energy taken out of the conversation. There's a disrespect because it's when I cut someone off. I'm making no inferences about anyone else doing this kind of a thing, but it blows my mind that I don't even notice it when it happens. Sometimes people bring it up, sometimes they don't bring it up, but I'm the one who needs to notice it. And it's normally supposed to happen in the heat of argument, like being upset and it's like cut someone off. That's a normal kind of incident. Cut someone off. Disrespectful. Taking energy out of the conversation, and it's destructive. When I notice I do it, other than that, is in a state of passion. I'm excited about something. And I don't even think, I feel like I got it. I got what they're saying, and they don't need to say anything else, so I'm going to go ahead and just start talking. Don't even realize I'm disrespecting them. I still am disrespecting them. Still am taking energy out of the conversation. It's stealing it, and it's destructive. Unlistening. It happens more times than I want to admit. The second, unproductive, and yet habitual, is called not listening. And that's when I don't really care what the other person has to say. It's either, to me, has no value, is not important what they're saying. I have no interest in the subject matter. I'm thinking about what I have to say and its importance. That all I'm doing is waiting until they get done talking so that I can say what is really important, what I have to say. Not listening. And then there's this kind of listening. That's the third. And that's what I found out to be my normal fallback. Like, okay, this is the state I'm presenting myself for conversation, because I'm coming from a place of filters. I have filters going on while I'm listening to someone, because in the instant I'm hearing what they're saying, I have judgment. And I'm making assumptions right away. I'm influenced by emotions. And I end up making stories up about what they're saying that is really not what they are saying. I'm hearing something completely different than what there is actually being said. I mean, that's not productive for any relationship, and actually has, in its own sense, a destructive quality. So, until I get a grip, see, I don't ask myself the important questions, am I hearing what is being said, or what I want to hear, because I'm already loaded. I have an agenda, whether I admit it or not. I want to hear something my way. And if I have to twist in my mind words, phrases up that's coming out of someone else's mouth into something that's not even actually being said, so be it. Without copying to it. Without going, yeah, I just did that. I just twisted someone's words up. No. I lie to myself and say, yeah, that's what they said when they didn't. It would be funny if it wasn't destructive. So, until I have a grip on what my habits are, it's not going to have the next video, part 2, can't possibly have the value, can't possibly have the value. Until then, aloha. And to close, clicking on the thumbs up icon supports Aloha Speaks, as well as clicking on the free subscribe tab. Mahalo.